Good morning. Hello, friends from Rocky Point, Mexico. It is Wednesday Wellness. Hello, hello. I hope you are doing well today. This is going to be a Wednesday Wellness that you definitely are going to want to share with people. I just want to show you first this beautiful, I'm enjoying nature, being out here with my friends, my family, celebration of a birthday that just keeps lasting. So very grateful for that. And I want to invite you to take a look at something. Is your cell phone, I'm holding a cell phone right now, and is your cell phone cooking your cells? Is your cell phone cooking your cells? Hi, Nancy. So I have a radiation expert here, a holistic healer here, who's going to show us and demonstrate what our cell phones are doing and how much radio frequency and electromagnetic frequencies are being emitted from our phones and from our technology, and how we really do need to protect ourselves. And I'm speaking to the choir here, right? I'm definitely. So I'm going to take you inside, and we're going to meet Alfredo Madero. Yay! Hi, Alfredo.
Hello, everybody.
Aww. And Alfredo is a holistic healer, energy healer. He's been doing some amazing work here the last couple of days, and we're going to sit here and talk about EMFs, because I recently last week I had a hair analysis done, and it showed that EMFs were definitely a factor and in my health. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Nancy, Brian. Hi. Good to see you. So this guy is phenomenal. This is Alfredo, and Alfredo is going to show us what these beautiful cell phones that we love so much, right? Cell phone, I need to show a cell phone, what these cell phones are doing inside of our bodies. And it's kind of scary, to be honest with you. And hi, Mimi, my sister. Oh, I love you. And say hi, Alfredo.
Hi.
Let's first talk about how did you get involved in all of this, and why
Sure.
are you so passionate about it?
Well, I'm passionate because it affected my baby boy back in 2010, and he started having seizures from extreme exposures to electromagnetic frequencies in the form of microwaves.
How do you know that? How did you know that was that?
Well, he was having monthly seizures. He had 7 the day of the full moon, which happens to triple, double fold the electromagnetic field of the earth.
Because we're all energy.
Yes, it swells up the ocean. Why wouldn't it swell us up?
Wow.
The term lunatic comes from luna, moon. It makes you crazy.
Oh my God.
Statistically, in the United States, hospitals, psychiatric institutions, and jails increase their staffing by 50% the days of the full moon. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Statistically.
Wow.
So there's more crime, more births, because the body swells up in response to the electromagnetic increase of the earth as it relates to the moon. And what is the full moon? Is a reflection of solar radiation, which during the night affects our white blood cells, and they kind of go crazy and start eating at your own tissue. So you're in pain and you're crazy because of this solar radiation.
Sometimes. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that it goes to your weakest link. So it's a great signaling device. The moon is a great signaling device to tell you where your trouble is.
Yeah. I know I feel things when there's a full moon, and sometimes Scott and I will go, oh my gosh, I didn't sleep last night very well. Oh, there it is. There's this full moon. And it's typical. My daughter will have sometimes issues and go, I said, Haley, the moon is full. She goes, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense.
Oh yeah.
She's like, why is that? But we're just sharing that we are all energy. So getting off the moon, holy cow, so many young kids. Yes, I know Leslie having seizures recently. Wow, unexplained. That's interesting.
Correct.
So how is your son today?
He's fine. He overcame the seizures once we mitigated the radiation in the apartment where we lived.
Wow.
We brought down the radiation from the thousands of microwatts per square inch per second to 0, which is where it should be. There's registered scientific inflammatory, oxidative, and cumulative side effects after 10 microwatts of radiation. The moon emits about that during the full moon cycle. And during the off moon cycle, right, where it's not full, it's only at 003 during the day. At night, it's at 0.
Wow. That's crazy. So this is what blew me away, is that yesterday, Alfredo measured my phone, and Sandy.
Yes.
And I was blown away when I saw the EMFs that were coming off this cell phone that I'm holding in my hand right now. So there are things I do to try to combat that. And we all know, we all love our phones, right? You guys, you're gonna wanna share this because we're gonna do a demonstration and it's gonna blow you away. But there's also some things that we can do to protect ourselves better. We're in the, the 21st century, so it is just part of life, but it is dimming the light switches inside of our bodies.
Correct.
And so you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you're helping people.
Sure. So we decided to build products to help you shield and contain this radiation and lower it so that it's not as damaging, considering that it's cumulative and also being oxidative and inflammatory, so you want less. Zero is perfect. It's very hard to operate a business without smart devices. So let's be honest about that. I still haven't been able to drop my phone. I rely on my phone for business, but I do turn it off or put it on airplane mode a lot more than not. And obviously only check on it throughout the day instead of being on my phone all day, because this radiation is cumulative, oxidative, and inflammatory. So be smart. Don't let your smart devices outsmart you. And we're gonna go ahead and go straight into a test. This machine measures from 0 up. Anything from 0 up is inflammatory. 0 to 10 microwatts. So if you read in this little machine, 0 to 10, it's already inflammatory, and there's scientific data of its inflammatory effects. So I'm gonna fire it up, and at first it's just gonna try to find signals, so it goes crazy. And we're gonna have Scott over here get a cell phone near the antenna, and you're gonna.
Am I gonna need to move my phone?
A little bit, but
Okay.
that it'll show clearly actually if you right there is good.
Okay.
And you guys keep an eye on the numbers. Scott, you go ahead and
Can
open
you see
your
the number,
phone.
you guys, right here? This is what you're looking at. It's showing me like 18, 20,
There
40.
you go. So already inflammatory, but Scott's gonna get the phone near the antenna, and it's going into the hundreds.
Whoa.
You can let us know. Go ahead and open up a page, a browser, one of your Safari browsers.
His is at 1200, 1800. Oh my gosh.
The machine maxes out at 2,000, so that's 2,000 microwatts per square meter per second. It's going into 3,000-4,000. I know the noise of the machine. So you're losing a lot of electrons, which is what runs your life, because these are protons that are inflammatory, similar to the ones coming from the sun, but the sun only emits 0.003 microwatts. This is already in the 3,000-4,000s. So we've developed these little bags that are Faraday cages for you to carry your phone.
This is amazing, you guys. Give us some hearts. Watch what happens here.
So there's still a faint signal, enough for you to conduct business without irradiating your body and get an inflammation all over your cells, specifically around your pocket. The beams of the antenna of this device are very, very similar to the one of a microwave in a kitchen, and we're about to do a test for you to see how this machine performs in front of a microwave, just like it does in front of this cell phone. See that?
Wow. So this, I just think of, and my kids, they're always on their phones as well. I'm on my phone as well. I know that. So I'm, preaching to the choir here. But when I notice I'm getting a bag that actually has double, because I have the iPhone and it is pretty darn strong. So it's a sheet, an EMF sheet. It's an EMF sheet that is fabric, and you can even tuck it in the pocket of your jeans or whatever you're wearing. So they're so thin that it's not like something that's cumbersome, because I know that's what people are worried about, But I'm worried more about what it's cooking inside of my body.
Correct. So other examples of inflammatory, oxidative, and cumulative emittive radiation devices are a home router, a home wireless cell phone, an Apple device, Apple Watch, and Sonos, anything that is wireless is going to have to cling on to your router, which maximizes the output
We
of
have
radiation.
Sonos.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Wait a minute, Scott. We have Sonos.
And by the way,
we have Sonos at home.
everything can be wired. Do this before it becomes obsolete, before they stop producing equipment and wires that fit your equipment. Right now, most of the devices are wire equipped or wire ready. But in 5 years, you won't have a choice. If you want great sound in your house, you're going to have wireless, inflammatory, and oxidative radiation just floating around, bouncing from wall to wall.
Wow.
So,
and you're seeing people suffering right now, aren't you?
Oh yeah. In the United States, I performed. I guess there's a question, right?
Conspiracy theories about how much worse 5G is. Can you elaborate or comment on 5G? Great question, Leslie. Thank you. She's a physician assistant as well. She's in the medical
Hundreds,
community.
if not thousands of times worse.
Wow. Say that again.
Hundreds, if not thousands of times worse.
5G.
Yes, 5G is
Whoa.
an amplifier antenna right outside your house. And pretty soon broadcast it from satellites. But even that is not as bad as the antennas sitting in front of your yard, which will expose you to definitely hundreds of times more levels of radiation. Because of a broader band, they're going to need to push way more microwaves into it for faster internet. 10% of the potency of your cell phone currently under 4G or 2G or 3G is enough to watch a movie without interruptions. So I don't know what they're talking about needing more. I think there's definitely an ulterior motive there.
Okay, let's show the microwave. This is really interesting, and then he's going to show you some ways that you can reduce that. The grounding mats. We'll talk a little bit about grounding mats. Is that what this is right here?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we're going to come back to this. So follow us in the kitchen, okay? All right. Oh, come here, Scotty. We need you. We're in this beautiful beach house in Mexico. So
what
so
we're going to do is I'm going to fire
me-
on
okay.
my meter, put it straight in front of the microwave. Hopefully you can see the numbers there. Right now it's picking up a little bit of your cell phone, but watch what happens when I turn it on for a minute.
Oh my Lord! It's only.
It's maxed out at 2,000, but it's running up to about 5,000 microwatts per second. This field goes on for about 6 to 8 feet.
Wow.
And this radiation is perpetual. It's going to have to go out there and find a plant or an animal or a human or anything that has electrons or life to neutralize itself. So this heat is heating up the planet. Wow. We're all a part of it.
Does that make sense to you guys? Does this make sense? Right? So what can we do to combat that? I mean,
we have to turn off anything that has a microwave antenna because it's heating up the planet. This radiation it's evil. It's just looking for electrons, which is what powers your life. So you have to turn it off. You have to take the power off of it because if you think you're not using it, it's still producing radiation. So you got to do something about it now before it's too late.
wow. Isn't this great information? Incredible. You love this? I know, it freaks you out, doesn't it? Give me all the bags. Leslie's like, give me all the bags. We're going to show you how you can get the bags, and they're the greatest gifts ever. So and that's what they are in here. We're going to show you how you can get that. So talk to us a little bit more about some things that we can do if we're on our computer. Lots of us work on our computer. We work technology. We have online businesses.
Oh, yeah.
So and everybody's on their computer or their phone, right? Or their pad, their iPad, or whatever.
This time we're going to use Scott over here. And if you don't mind, Marissa, coming around the corner so
Okay.
you can take a readout.
I gotta move. Hold on. It's not letting, the internet is a little spotty here, so hang on. Okay, so what are we doing here?
Okay, so next we're going to measure electromagnetic radiation, which is slightly different from microwave. It's still toxic, nowhere near as toxic as microwave, because microwave goes straight through you. It's a beam that will just cut you through, and if you hold still for 20 minutes under that direct beam, which is a couple millimeters, a few millimeters wide, it'll burn your cells. And your body has no defense mechanism for that. It'll just go straight into cancer. I know this sounds awful, but I'm willing to send you all the evidence that is there by doctors and scientists. So it heats up your cells, and if you're under that beam all night, you're looking at cancer rates of about 2 years.
And we know that cancer is just growing more and more and more. And the number one cause is oxidative stress.
Yep, there you go.
So-
which this will do. This will immediately oxidize your cell unless you give what it needs, which is electrons or oxygen, which only donates one electron. So we're going to see an example of how to lose your energy, how to lose your electrons a little slower, but for sure we'll get you there as well. Over here we have a body voltmeter, and it'll measure what my body is resisting in the form of electromagnetic frequencies. The other ones were microwaves.
What do you do about your microwave? You don't use it as much. You don't use it. You get rid of it. Some people make it a planter box.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to make that happen at our house. It is actually off the counters. It is in a cabinet, and we don't use it as often. And unfortunately, when you have children we didn't even know about this. And it's like, oh, okay, we'll just warm this up. But you know what? There's something about taking time to prepare meals.
Yes.
And I need to be better at that. And I'm sure everybody out there can relate to that. But take one little step.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to microwave the soup. I'm going to cook it on a pan on the stove, right?
Yes,
So-
it's really simple. You want to eat food that's alive, and alive in the form of electrons, right? It has electricity in it. And when you put it in the microwave, it's dead. It's also dead when it's been sitting in the fridge for a long time. So you kind of want to go from the earth to your mouth. There's still a pulse into it. And that's what makes the interchange from an oxidated cell. It gets the electron, and then it becomes alive. And I'll give you a clear example of how that can happen. So think of acidity for a second. They say that 7.2 is the proper pH level of your blood, right? Well, 7.2 translates to negative 0.057 microvolts. So we're going into the negative. These machines we're using are measuring in the positive, which is all protons. So you want to go into the negative, and the only way to do that is through the earth. And so the less time it's been away from the earth, the more it'll be in the negative. That's called an electrical diet. So this little machine right here is going to show us what the earth is pulsing, because I have a grounding mat connected to the earth via the wire that Marissa showed you guys earlier. And it's directly connected to the earth outside.
Okay, let me take you on a little tour really quick.
Yes.
Isn't that ceiling amazing? My friend Yada's home here in Mexico. Okay, so here's the grounding. Here's the... Okay, and it's going all the way down into the earth. All right, so now we're going to go back to the grounding mat inside. Okay, all right, here we go.
All right, so what I'm going to do now is use my voltmeter to measure what my body's resisting in the form of protons that are generated from the electricity in this building. Okay, electricity is obviously dielectric, as in the negative, but we can't separate it from an oscillating protonic force that comes from the use of too much dielectricity. These terms are a little too scientific, but I'll be answering questions from the feed in the future. So I'm going to go ahead and hold this metal detector,
Can they see it? Because I can't.
Yeah, they
see
can.
what
Yes,
it
and then Marissa's going to show the numbers right now.
is.
So
Okay, hang on.
and
Make sure it's showing.
So
Okay.
I'm resisting about 123 microvolts. The Earth in here, I tested it, emits 0. So it's the healthiest I've ever measured in the whole Baja, right? It's typically 003. In New York, there's 12,000 microvolts on the Earth.
Wow.
Yes, you don't want to be there too long, if you know what I mean. Sorry, New Yorkers. I love New York. So, but I'm going to show you what happens, and I want you to understand the electromagnetic field. The emptiness and the space in here is talking to us. It's either healing you or killing you. And I'm going to show you that. Scott over here is holding my phone wire as if he was like texting or something while his phone is charging. So Marissa's going to keep the phone on the meter, and I'm going to slowly put my hand closer to Scott, and I want you to see what happens as I get my hand closer to Scott. Do you guys see the spike? 500. I'm not even touching him yet, so I'm going to go ahead and touch him, and my meter went past 2,000 microvolts.
Wow. That's what, it didn't even register.
Yes. So I'm going to change the setting here to see how fast your kids lose energy, or yourselves, when you're using your cell phone while it's plugged in. So I'm going to touch Scott's arm, and this actually proves two things. We're electrical, we're batteries, we're conductive. So it really matters how close you are to electrical devices or not. So it went up to, what does it say, Marissa?
It's saying 5.51.
So 5,000 and something microwatts, when we should be 0. I'm going to go ahead with this hand and touch my grounding mat, and we will see how the earth is discharging all that protonic inflammatory source. But what I really want to do is let go of Scott, because he's holding onto a wire. Or
it's at 0.
Yes, let go of a phone, right? And it goes directly to 0. We will show a link. Now, we're still measuring above 10 micro. What are we at now? 003?
Yep.
Now,
005. Yeah, it's going back.
Scott, do me a favor and unplug that charger from the wall, and we're gonna see what happens. Keep that screen on the numbers.
Can you guys see that?
Yes. So once he unplugs that, I go down to close to 0 microvolts, right? Or is it 005?
Yep. 02.
02, perfect. So 003 is healthy. But if I were to turn the breakers off in this house or unplug a lot of the other devices that are plugged in near me, it would go down to 0. At nights, without solar electricity, it'll go into the dielectrical. And remember what we talked about, acidity? So 7.2 equals negative 0.57 microvolts. So we want to go into the negative, and we only accomplish that, number one, at nights, and eating electrical food. Food that delivers electrons, which is in the negative. How's that?
What are foods that are in the negative?
Greens.
Okay.
Yeah. So any NRF2 producing foods like collard greens, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, all of those they're charged with electricity. And specifically, if you just take them out of the earth a day or two before you eat them, or even better, the day you're going to eat them, right? That's the best way. That's the best way to consume electricity. So then, guess what? You're consuming electrons. So by the time the night comes in and the solar radiation goes away, you're not going to lose any of those nutritional electrons you're eating, and you will be able to go dielectrical, which is the field or the magnetism necessary for your cells to breathe. Negative 0.32 is the magnetism necessary for your cell to breathe. For your cell to subdivide, negative 0.057. So more into the electricity side of it.
Wow.
It's very simple. What is the number one inhibitor of NRF2 production in your body? Radiation.
Wow.
It won't let you.
People who don't know what NRF2 is, share what that is.
NRF2 is a respiration pathway of your cell. So it's a precursor of the oxygenation of your cell. So you're going to need NRF2, which is a combination of 3, say, enzymes. And if they're not in your body, you're just not going to make it. Okay? So you need NRF2 for your cell to breathe.
And I know the best NRF2 activator in the world. So if you're interested in that, you can always reach out, because
absolutely,
that actually helps so much in reducing oxidative stress. But I also understand it can be inhibited from all of this crap. So we want it to work better.
Radiation is the number one inhibitor to your body's production of NRF2. So you have to supplement it. There's not enough food you can eat now to offset the levels of exposure to radiation, which are a quintillion times more than what we were originally designed for. That's 18 zeros.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yes. It's like we need a lot of NRF2 because it's the number one thing that gets inhibited in our body when we expose it to radiation. Also, magnesium. Magnesium just can't be synthesized. And the release of lots of calcium. So we're going to post some links in the comments from scientists that are alive, that are very prominent, and a lot of people are listening to them, and doctors talking about this, so that you can actually get on the wagon, right? And supplement with NRF2, ground yourself, turn off your devices more often than not, and then start living a little better.
Like put it on airplane mode. So I've been putting it on airplane mode, because you don't need it to take pictures, right? So I'm taking lots of pictures here at the beach, but I know that I need to put it on airplane mode. I don't need to be in the know all the time, right?
Correct, yes.
So
be intermittent with it. You don't have to be tethered to the internet all the time. Just in and out, that's all. Remember, this is a numbers game. The less accumulation you get of radiation, the more oxygen you will be able to produce the better life you're going to have.
Wow. Anything else you want to add to any of what we have going on here?
Yes,
or
there's just
other solutions, other solutions.
The cheapest one is to just go out there on your yard, on the grass in the morning and before you go to bed, and put your bare feet for at least 20 minutes. And that is enough to attune your body's circadian rhythms.
Let's go show them the ocean, because you did say something about when you get in the water.
Yes,
Can we
absolutely.
end with that? Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys, if you're interested in the bags, put a comment in the chat that you're interested in the bags. If you're interested in taking a natural NRF2 activator, put your comments in there. I'm happy to reach out to you. But look what our dear friends are doing right now. Hang on.